Wallace, the pressure is on the halfback. The coach Anthony Griffin said last week we were rudderless. We need more direction, more commitment, especially tonight. Luke Bird gets us underway. The kickoff goes down to Wallace and he gives it to Hannant to bring it back out where he runs into Nathan Smith. Tim Manor is there and also Ben Smith. They play it just outside their own 10. Here is Sivanasiva. They work it up towards the 20. McCulloch waits at dummy half. They go to the left-hand side. Josh Maguire it is. Into the starting side tonight in this reshuffled lineup. Sivanasiva said he may well finish his career in the NRL with the Broncos, working off the bench, but tonight he remains in the starting side. The kick, clearing kick from just inside the 40, skips past Kencio, who goes back a straight line from the Broncos chase team on that left-hand side of the field. And it's Corey Norman and Matt Gillette who get to him to make the tackle.
And the first set of 6 from the Broncos is what we expected. Big man after big man, they get to their kick.
Sando from dummy half, heading out here to Tim Manor. And he'll play it for Nathan Smith. Ducks out to the right-hand side to be picked up there by Gillette and company at the Eels 40-metre line. Sando again getting in there, playing the dummy half role as it comes out to this left-hand side. Matua, a little in and away, but well accommodated by Wallace. So they'll go back to Sando for the kick from just outside the 40. Down the middle of the field it goes. Beale floating back, and Miranda it was who took the catch. And he will play at about 25 on his own side of halfway. It's been impressive, Miranda, since getting a chance midway through the season. Playing game number 5 in his NRL career tonight. It's Teo to take it up towards the halfway line. Got a reprieve at the judiciary last week. Charge downgraded for a high tackle on Luke Bailey from the loss against the Titans. Josh Hoffman wasn't so lucky. He took the early plea to a striking charge. He's out of the game tonight. Hence Luke Capel is the fullback here this evening. McCulloch getting to dummy half. The last play goes back to Wallace, who puts it in the air, coming across Mullaney, standing underneath it. And something of a baptism of fire against the Sea Eagles at Brookvale. In his first game in the NRL, and tonight a catch, a good one in the field of play, but they've dragged him back into the in-goal area legally. It'll be a goal line dropout. And
your kick's only as good as your chase. They put it up there, and Alex Glenn, a back rower, getting down there, making the tackle on Mullaney, and look at the strength that he shows here. Mullaney's in the field of play, and he just ragdolls him, pulls him back into the end goal. Good start by the Broncos.
Sando with the goal line dropout. Bouncing down to Jared Beale, who gives it off to Hannant. Brings it forward to Moi Moi, and also Matura. Strong tackle here. Good news for Fui Moi Moi, extending a deal with the Eels. Agreed to terms for the next couple of seasons. Now Fider, 35 away from the Parramatta line. McCulloch going across to Maguire. Important for the Eels as they keep their line intact early, because their first half record has been terrible in 2012, but their goal line defence last week against Melbourne was outstanding. Astide plays it just outside the Parramatta 10. McCulloch runs a long way from dummy half. He had them flat-footed defensively there, and they have one more play from close range. Slow play the ball. Wallace appealing for a penalty, getting no joy. Norman, a grubber, waiting. Mullaney has to play at it and takes it beyond the dead ball line.
Well, I thought Corey Norman had put too much on that kick, but at the last moment it bounced up. Mullaney had to play at it. And the Broncos forwards are winning the play the ball battle at this stage. Getting to the ground, getting up, playing the ball. McCulloch was dangerous out of dummy half. They're keeping it nice and simple with ball in hand, the Broncos.
Back-to-back goal line dropouts. This one a long one down to Beale, who gives it off to Hannant once again, and he runs it back out. And Ryan Morgan was able to stop him and put a good bump on him, but an offload came away, and they have it here at the 40 where they play it through Beale. Wide ball from the sideline from Wallace. It goes to Sivanasiva. Alec waiting. He heads out towards the left-hand side. A little dummy there for Maguire. Able to wrap him up from behind. Nathan Smith. We heard the contact was around the shoulder. Now Norman giving it to Matt Gillett around the legs. A good tackle there by Sando. With some help from Blair. Goes back to Norman. Wallace looking to provide the direction, and there's a pass, and they got lucky. Manor got a hand to it, thought he had an intercept, but knocked the ball on, and possession will remain with Brisbane.
Yeah, Peter Wallace going to the line. He's got options on the inside and out. Trying to get the pass back on the inside. I think to Josh Maguire. Good work there by his opposite number in Timmy Manor, pushing across, not getting tied, not forgetting his role in defence. Unfortunately, though, dropping the ball. And the Broncos get another set of 6 in good field position. They've had all the ball, the Broncos.
That they have. They had all of it last week in the first half against the Titans. And it was locked together at 6-all as Norman plays it. McCullough goes from dummy half. Repelled there by some strong goal line defence. Smith was there and so was Moi Moi. They drop back now. Wallace, he loses the ball with the advancing defensive line, putting some real pressure on him. And they've turned it over Brisbane. Hindmarsh has it for Parramatta.
Well, he needed to give himself a bit of depth there, Peter Wallace. He was too close to the defence. You know that the defence is going to rush when they're defending their goal line. You need to take a couple of steps back. And after all the possession, as they did last week, Parramatta's goal line defence looks terrific.
Moi Moi bringing it out. It won't be a confidence-building image that has played out before the eyes of Anthony Griffin, who said last week we were rudderless in our attack against the Titans. They've had plenty of chances right there to score first points and come up empty. Now Roberts feeding it through Hindmarsh. He goes across to Sando. Out the back. Mullaney into a hole. He keeps it alive. Chase Blair keeps it going. Seo down the wing. Comes away from the sideline. Almost gets away from Capewell, who stops him a couple of metres out from the line. Back down the short side they go. Blair for the corner is denied by Lachlan Maranta.
They lost their way there, Parramatta, and I think they have a penalty, but they needed to shift the ball to their left. Instead, they went down a short side, and they're saying that someone didn't get back. Someone's offside, and I think it may be Corey Norman who was involved in the tackle. Didn't get back to the line. Some excellent work from Parramatta, going to the edges, and why wouldn't you test the Broncos on the edges? They've got back rowers playing in the centres.
They came here tonight with a green light to use the ball, and that's what they've done. Almost brought them points on a long raid down that right edge. Smith wheeling from dummy half. Nothing doing for him there. And he looks for somebody to get to dummy half, and it's Sando who rushes there. Here's Hindmarsh, who broke that try-scoring drought last week. Boy, it was celebrated long and hard, wasn't it, by the faithful at Parramatta Stadium. Moi Moi getting across the line. They've spun him onto his back, though. He'll be held up with a couple of tackles left in this set of 6.
A terrific effort from Matt Gillett. One-on-one with Fui. He's a difficult man to contain that close to the line.
4, go.
Play back underway for Smith. They give it to Roberts, who goes out the back for Mullaney, running towards the wing of Luke Burke. But there were plenty of maroon jumpers in front of him. They've got one more play. Comes back from Ryan Morgan. Not a great ball for Roberts, who has to run it now on the last. He wasn't expecting that. Matua puts in a grubber, and Capewell, shadowing the play behind the Broncos' defensive line, was able to round it up and stay in the field of play.
Yeah, good reaction from the Brisbane Broncos. They were split. They give away a penalty, but they defended their goal line stoutly. They got into formation quickly and nullified the Parramatta attack.
Here's Seven Asiva. They've used up plenty of tackles already. That's number 4, and they're still just 15 metres out from their own line. Wallace goes wide, a shift to try and get themselves out of the danger zone. Gillett, a real bump. Got away from Chase Blair, but still he'll play it just outside the 20. They're up against the sideline. They come back to the middle. Wallace under pressure again. The kick, charge down. Nathan Smith has it, and Parramatta have the first try. What a good piece of play set up by the strong defence. They had the Broncos trapped inside their own 20. Wallace was under enormous pressure as they came too wide, and Smith followed up on his own charge down.
Well, you're talking about rudderless. Last week, the Broncos halves. And if you're going to shift the ball deep inside your own half on fifth tackle, there needs to be metres to be made. Otherwise, it's a no-no. Because if you're tackled on the sideline, last play, the pressure is applied to the kicker. And there it was.
Bronco!
From young Nathan Smith. Charged the ball down, picked up the rebound and scores the first 4-pointer of the night. You've got to be thinking, if you're going to shift deep inside your own half, there has to be space. There's no space and it's a high-risk play. Go forward, get your kick. Stay in the middle. They've got two options. Corey Norman, left side. Peter Wallace, right side. Lost their way badly there, the Broncos.
Coming from a sideline, they were always going to be under pressure. Nathan Smith grabbing the first 4-pointer of his career. From right in front, Luke Burt makes it a 6-0 scoreline. A worrying start by the Brisbane Broncos, who, as we heard before the game, it seemed as though the coaching staff had drawn a line in the sand. Football manager Andrew G was rather critical of the halves. He said Wallace and Norman have lost their zip that they had earlier in the year in the lead up to this game, and now off the back of giving away the try,
Petro was in front of the kicker.
They're offside at the kickoff, and Parramatta will come right back at them.
And there's another no-no. You know that the referees are looking for it. You can't afford to be offside from the kickoff, and I think he was talking about Petro Sivanasiva. The bench, they're disappointed. Parramatta go straight back on the attack. They've looked good when they've moved the ball, Parramatta.
Here is Moi Moi taking it forward towards Sivanasiva and also Hannon. Simple mistake by Petro Sivanasiva. Hard to imagine a player of his experience with the offside at the kickoff, right beside the kicker, no less. Nathan Smith, he goes wide to Sando, searching out towards Mullaney once again, who made that bust not that long ago, which set up the field position for them to eventually score through Nathan Smith. Sando taking them on, getting away from Gillette. He's rounded up from behind. A desperate tackle there. And they'll play it 5 metres out from the Broncos line. In behind the run of Hindmarsh. Comes away to Roberts. He steps away from Maguire. Got away from Wallace. Now there's a chance. Morgan for the line. Friday is there to save the day. What a tackle by the skipper. Last play. Comes back to Roberts, who bombs across the face of the uprights. Pressure on Miranda. The Eels came down with it. Miranda it was, though, who snatched it from them.
Great work from Miranda, but what about the tackle from Sam Thaiday? The skipper, a try saver. Big effort.
No doubt about it, Morgan looked destined to get to the in-goal area. Stopped a half a metre short by Thaiday. Now Maguire working it up towards the halfway line. See how they can just compose themselves after the last 2 or 3 minutes of this game. It's been all Parramatta. They lead 6 points to 0. With that devil-may-care attitude they bring to the game tonight, they throw it around and continue to make breaks. There might be something to beat here. Despite the rank outsiders, the bookmakers heading here this evening.
Well, that's why it's so important for Brisbane to control where they give possession back to Parramatta. If they want to play razzle-dazzle, they have to do it from inside their, or deep inside their own half. You give them opportunities in the good ball zone, they'll hurt you. They're less likely to hurt you down this end of the field.
As Hindmarsh put under a weight of bodies, including Thaiday, who got left on the ground. Matua now down the short side. A real handful there for McCulloch. And the ball was touched. Things going at the moment the way of Parramatta, aren't they?
Yeah, fortune is favouring the brave. Rennie Matua getting on the outside of young McCulloch. Their formation, we spoke about how quickly they got back into position. On this occasion, they were out of sorts. McCulloch was defending Mutio. Identified that. They got on the outside.
So on the replay, just a touch off the fingertips of Peter Wallace. And he's floating back with the play straight to a Parramatta player, and hence the knock on. And Parramatta have it here at the halfway line. Comes to Tim Manor, who takes it Broncos territory. Good tackle by Hannett. McCulloch was there. So was Subanasiva. Moi charging hard tonight early in this one, and another penalty for the Eels.
I called it 2 or 3 times, mate. Left side.
A great tackle though by Ben Hannett. Straight in under the ball.
Back up, boys.
And the Broncos love to see Corey Parker, Yao Yi and Justin Hodges out there at this stage of the game. They're under assault. Everything going Parramatta's way. And the Broncos again have to show tough qualities here defending their line.
Manor 5 metres away. The Broncos have won just 26 of 60 since 2008 without Justin Hodges. They'd love him to be out there. Moi was almost in for their second try. Smith comes back to Roberts. Flat pass. Morgan, it was a difficult one to handle. 2 poor passes by the Eels have relieved all the pressure, and there was plenty on the Broncos' defence.
Yeah, there was. And Parramatta looking to move the ball. The passing, the first one from the young Smith to Ben Roberts was at the ankles. The next pass from young Ryan, Roberts to Morgan should have been taken. It just releases the pressure on the Broncos. A lot more energy about the Parramatta side tonight.
The Broncos had the early chances but couldn't get across the line, and they've been pressured ever since. I'll play it here through Teo. Luke Capewell playing in just his second game of the season for Brisbane. McCulloch comes out to this left-hand side. Gillette working it up within 20 of the halfway line. See what they do at the back end of this set. After the previous set, they had the charge down for the try by Smith. Will get a penalty set of 6 to come up and to come back deep on the attack at Parramatta's end of the field.
Yeah, and they just need to take their time here, the Brisbane Broncos. They've been under attack. Get their breath back. Think about what they're going to do and what their plan is in this set of 6. This is the opportunity they've been waiting for.
As McCulloch is back underway, goes through Norman away to Subanasiva, but Hindmarsh, who played as a front rower last week from the opening whistle. Good tackle on a front row there, and Subanasiva, the pass there from McCulloch looked forward. There was certainly a call of forward, but it must have been from a Parramatta player. Here's Thailand, Wallace jamming in and doing well. Ryan Morgan got to the halfback and snuffed out the play. 10 away. 3 tackles left in this set. Norman going to the line. Hindmarsh wrapping up with some help there from Ben Smith. They keep it going down the short side. Here's Wallace stepping back on the angle, getting away from Ben Smith. Stopped by Tim Manor. They've got one more. Comes out the back for Norman. Chip it away. Out wide for Beale, but Burt up above them with his hands extended, made a great catch, and now they're going to say Ryan Morgan made an illegal block and took a Brisbane Bronco chaser out of play.
He did a fantastic job, Luke Burt, didn't he? I know there was some conjecture about whether there was interference or not, but Burt, I thought he did a terrific job. And here come the Broncos.
Friday says, let's tap it and go at them. See if we can't crack them. And it's Hannett. Will play it 8 metres out from the Parramatta line. McCulloch giving it to Subanasiva. A standing start. He dumps it out the back. It goes to Teo. Now quick to set upon him. Joseph Paulo is out there now. Helps Luke Burt make the tackle. McCulloch goes wide to Wallace. Wider still to Norman. Goes away to Capewell, and now Chase Blair. Like Ryan Morgan on the other side, the centre racing up on that far side and making a good stop. McGuire hit once again by Chase Blair and got some help from Manor. Parramatta's defence doing a terrific job here on the Broncos. Norman comes away to Wallace, showing it. Fanned out to the right-hand side with the halfback hung on to it. They'll have one more from about 5 metres out. Right under the black dots. It goes to Norman. He grubbers, looking for the end goal area, and he'll find it. A ball juggled.
Again, what I need you to check is whether the Bronco player touched knocked on. Back into the Parramatta.
Mullaney was there, had a play at it, got an awkward bounce. Just need to check that the bounce back to Corey Norman wasn't then knocked on by the Broncos 5'8".
Well, he scored a similar try a couple of weeks ago against the Warriors, and I think it was the first try of the game. By rolling the ball in the in goal, and I think it was Kevin Locke at that time, misjudging it. But here, Mullaney, juggles it. Norman touches it, but I don't think Mullaney gets another grab at it. He knocks it forward there. Norman taps it forward onto his chest. I think this will be okay. If he taps it forward into Mullaney and regathers it, then that is deemed a knock on, but I don't think that's the case.
I think the ball was gone by the time Mullaney's hands came together. And as you say, I expect we'll get the green lights. And the Broncos, in a moment, should be all level at 6-all. A try confirmed by our video referee tonight, Chris Ward. I like what he saw from the Broncos' perspective. Good heads-up piece of play by Corey Norman, who grubbers, regathers, and gets them on the board here tonight.
And there's a bit of luck in that try. And I thought that Parramatta actually was defending very well. The Broncos, they didn't really challenge them as such. Corey Norman a couple of times went to the line. He didn't do it at speed, and it was easily read by the Parramatta defence. They were up in their face. But the ball along the ground can bounce in horrendous ways for the man attacking the ball. And it did for young Mullaney on that occasion. Off his chest into the arms of Norman, and the Broncos hit back.
Peter Wallace is a pretty handy backup kicker with no Corey Parker here tonight. And from just beside the uprights, shouldn't have any issue with this one. Midway through the first half, and it's a try apiece, 6 apiece. Here on Monday Night Football at Suncorp Stadium. The Broncos have hit back. Needed to as well after all the pressure they've had inside the Eels 20. 14 tackles now they've had inside the opposition 20. And 58% possession last week in the first half against the Titans, and a 5-1 penalty count. Still could do no better than a 6-all scoreline at the break, and then the Titans dominated possession in the second half. Went on to win. Something of an upset. Parramatta they're determined to cause an upset tonight, and they're in this to their eyeballs, aren't they, against the Broncos, who sit in 4th place but will slide outside the top 4 should they lose here this evening. Sevenasiva playing it. He's away this left-hand side. Josh McGuire who will work it forward just outside the Broncos 30. Sevenasiva again, tuck it under his arm. Good carry this time by the veteran. Stopped there by Manor and also Paul Cully. Kick out a dummy half down the middle of the field. He comes across Mullaney. Take it at his own 10. Runs past Wallace, who makes a good bootlace tackle. Stops him inside his own 20.
It's one of his strengths, isn't it, Peter Wallace? Getting down there, making tackles after he's kicked the ball. One of the better defensive halfbacks in the game.
Now a mistake by the Eels. They turned it over. A ball forced out the back. A tackle by Tim Manor. Heel contender was stripped, but he gets no joy in the Broncos. Will get it, but there is some drama here as we take a look at the tackle once again. The ball is coming out there. No strip there at all. There's a problem here for Sam Thiaday, who's gone from the field, Andy.
He certainly has the Brisbane captain's back with the doctor in the dressing room at the moment. He's split the webbing on his hand and is in there getting a couple of stitches. But our man Sammy's tough enough. He'll be back in about 10 minutes, I'd reckon.
See if you're good to your word. It's a blow, though, for the moment. Thiaday off the field. Sevenasiva.
Hold your hands, feet down. Down.
Sevenasiva also coming from the field. And the change, the replacement coming on after the scrum had been fed and won. The Broncos back on the attack. It's Miranda to play it for McCulloch. Just outside the 20, Hannon taking it to the line, running towards Nathan Smith. He's able to stop him with some help there from Tim Manor. They head back towards that left-hand corner again. Norman running to the line. Gillette back on the angle. Well handled, though, by Sando, whose defence last week against Melbourne was first-rate. McCulloch comes to Wallace. Something of a gap on the outside there of Paulo, who grabbed Wallace, and then Rennie Matua taking a chance there by grabbing a player on the ground and lifting him off the ground like that. And there is going to be a penalty for the contact on Peter Wallace. Not from Rennie Matua, but the man Joseph Paulo, was it, who made the first contact on the halfback. And from right in front is the option of taking the 2 and hitting the lead, but perhaps they want to make a statement right here. The Eels can make a statement with their defence by holding them out. And Maguire will play it a couple of metres away. McCulloch to the short side. Teo reaching out. He cracks them rather easily.
40. Mate, mate, tackle 2. Let's check possible instruction, please, mate.
I want to take a look and make sure there was nothing that helped Teo across the line around about the play the ball.
It was just a crash ball run, wasn't it, from Ben Teo? Looking at Ben Hennett there. He stops. I don't think he impedes. I don't think he impedes anyone, Ben Hennett. He gets it on the outside shoulder. I think it was Rennie Matua coming from outside in to make the tackle on Ben Hennett. This should be a 4-pointer as far as I'm concerned. You see Hennett going in. Rennie Matua. He wasn't pushing out. He wasn't looking to get to Hennett's outside and make a tackle on Ben Teo. This is okay.
A couple of quick looks, and Chris Ward disagrees with you and says no try.
Back here.
Because you stop there, they can't slide across. So you can keep going.
It's a penalty for obstruction. Go back here, mate.
Well, despite the fact that Rennie Matua wasn't heading outwards, they're going to say the fact that Hannon stopped in the line, denying him the chance to change his mind and go towards Teo. I guess Teo went to the hole that was helped be created in some small way by the run of Hannon. And red lights for Teo and the Broncos. Plenty of people debating that call at home, no doubt. Chance goes begging. The Brisbane Broncos and now Parramatta work it off their own line. Instruction plays certainly have been the flavour of the month. Plenty of debate in recent times. All off the back of what happened in Origin 3. Matua again, damaging on this left-hand side through Wallace, through Teo. And he takes it down within 20 of the Broncos line. Come back through Roberts. It goes to Paulo, who straightens things up, gives it to Sando. Oh, pass. It was at least a couple of metres forward in the delayed call, but a correct call all the same.
Yeah, it was a correct call. Chrissy Sando needed to do better than that. They had the Broncos at 6s and 7s. Rennie Matua, he's looked sharp tonight on this left side of the field. It's another incisive run. Look at Chris Sando there, going to the line, slowing down, telegraphing it. He was going to pass it. And just out of the hands, drifting forward to Nathan Hindmarsh. You don't want to be turning over the ball down this end of the field. In good position.
Had some space to move in as well, because Joseph Paulo had done nicely to straighten things up and then deliver the pass to Sando. He stopped the defensive line sliding across towards Sando. Made a pretty simple mistake. It was a disappointing end to what was building up to a nice movement. Here's Beale stepping away from dummy half for Brisbane. 4 plays gone. It's on their own side of halfway. Wallace comes across to Mitchell Dodds, who is out there now playing his 7th game of the season in the NRL for the Broncos. Goes across to Norman, who chips it from inside the halfway line. It's a one bouncer down to Mullaney, who will bring it back. He's got Theo back there with him, but the fullback hangs on to it. The boy from the southwest of Sydney played his junior football at Eagle Vale down there at St Andrews. Was a West Tiger hopeful at one stage. Finds himself at fullback tonight with Jared Hayne out of action for the rest of the season, and now Burt the player just outside the 20.
Yeah, and this is a big test coming up for the Brisbane Broncos. You know, they came into this game with a number of stars missing, and there's no Thaido on the field. There's no Petro Sivanasiva. They need their leaders to stand up. Ben Hennett, Peter Wallace. They need to lead from the front. Here's young Marietta with the ball. Oh, hit there and a solid tackle from Ben Smith and Chrissy Sando.
They rattled him all right. Good carry, but he was hitting an equally good tackle. A carry and a mistake. Fresh on the field, Aaron Whitchurch gets a run to take it up towards the 40 in just his second game in the NRL. Here is Sam Thaiday, who, as Andy Raymond said, wouldn't be off there for too long. You'd imagine he'll be back out there pretty quickly. I don't know he'll get much of a chance to sit down. In fact, the interchange card has been called for straight away.
Yeah, you wouldn't be leaving Big Semi off the field. You'd be getting him back out there as quickly as possible.
Two hands, Chris. Nathan, head him.
Being in defence here off the mistake by Whitchurch. Fido will have to cool his heels for this set of six, you'd imagine. They won't make a change while they're defending in their own half. And now Blair playing. Goes from Nathan Smith. Away to Ben Smith, who got straight through the tackle. He gives it off to Ken Seo, trying to stay alive. He's knocked to ground. Now playing 15 metres out from the Broncos line. Sando for Paulo. Gives it to Roberts this time. It comes across. Mullaney gets away from Wallace. He's only a couple of metres away. He plays it here for Morgan, who fires it back for Roberts. Here's Paulo once again, flicking out the back. Hindmarsh, a good ball, keeping it alive. Justin Poor is out there, backing his way towards the line and scoring for Parramatta.
Well, it is the fourth tackle. Just make sure no current player obstructed Broncos tackle.
Going to go upstairs once again to take a look at, with Chris Ward running his eyes over it. It looked to be okay in running, and he certainly came down on top of the white line. We'll wait and see if a Parramatta player obstructing one of those Brisbane defenders trying to stop him.
Some great ball movement there from Parramatta. Paulo, the one-handed pass to Hindmarsh. Hindmarsh onto Poor. We're looking to see if Paulo pushes his own player or pushes a Broncos player. He just fights his way out of the tackle, Justin Poor.
Take a look at the contact once again from Joseph Paulo on Luke Capewell. When he gets in there, well, you couldn't say that he denied him the chance to make the tackle. He already had a pretty good hold on him. I don't think what Paulo did had any effect on the play, do you?
I don't think it did, but technically you can't do it. Technically you cannot push the opposition.
Well, despite technically, Chris Ward says green lights. I think it's a pretty good call.
Well, I think it was too, but I wasn't so sure. But in that set of six, they were missing tackles there, the Broncos. They were missing. There's some disturbing signs in terms of their defence. Dropping off tackles. Getting stood up easily. And Parramatta's ball movement is placing their defence under pressure.
Luke Burt, another easy attempt. Almost right in front once again. As we approach the half-hour mark, what a scoreline this is. There'll be some teams in the top 8 cheering this potential result at 12-6. Parramatta lead Brisbane. When you consider that Anthony Griffin, in the lead up to this game, was talking about their attack being rudderless and how he was disappointed last week in their attitude and their commitment against the Gold Coast Titans. Unfortunately for the coach, his team has pretty much picked up from where they left off against their younger sibling down the road here at the Gold Coast. Disappointing effort so far from Brisbane, and Parramatta really handing it to the Broncos. 12-6. 10 left in this first half. Parramatta, a degree of confidence that they haven't had for the full season, really, off the back of their win last week against Melbourne. A new coach, a new attitude. Here's Rennie Matua. He's turned back the clock. The Rennie Matua, who played for Australia some years ago, and he was a Bulldog. Roberts goes out the back. Chip over the top now from Sando, putting some pressure on the back three again of the Broncos. Miranda getting back and cleaning it up. Oh, Sando was there looking for a shoulder charge.
Well, he got the shoulder charge in. He bounced away. I think that's centre six. There were no line speed from the Broncos. They weren't effective at all in the hit and stick. Parramatta was just rolling through them.
Wouldn't be an official NRL game that involved Parramatta if there wasn't a Chrissy Sando shoulder charge, would it? Here's Glenn. Hasn't had too many chances with the ball, but he's had some defence to do on that right side. And on the edges, Parramatta have really caught them out a number of times already. Broncos struggling for metres once again here from their own end. Here's Wallace again, 2 passes wide from a play the ball out near the sideline. Unlike the charge down that led to the try by Nathan Smith, Wallace got the kick away this time. CO bringing it back. One of a number of younger Eels to re-sign for an extended stay at Parramatta, and the season's coming up. And of course, next year it'll be Ricky Stewart in charge at the beginning of 2013.
Yeah. Well, the Broncos need to be a bit more adventurous with the football. At this time, they're just making it so easy for Parramatta to make their tackles. Not really challenge them, not throwing a lot at them.
Throwing plenty at them is Joseph Paulo through the middle of the field. He's causing some havoc with his running and his ball playing. Matua on the left. Now they come out towards the right. Ben Smith into a hole. Capewell came up to make it a straight line, and he certainly had to. They have one more play, 10 metres out. Here come the Eels. Sando puts a kick in. Morgan chasing the kick. Wasn't a great one, just too big for the chasers. And bringing it back. Here's Beale running at them. Parramatta will back the 10 if play on. We'll see if the Broncos can get something going, but they've only just hung on once again by a fingernail. Miranda playing. Comes on this right-hand side for Teo to bump it forward. And he'll play it at the halfway line. McCulloch giving it to Wallace. Picking up there with Hannett. They're there at the advantage line to meet him. Hindmarsh was there. So was Justin Poore, and they make the tackle on him a good one. Norman showing it, getting through the line, leaving Eels in his wake. Nathan Hindmarsh, for the millionth time in his career, cleans up. Wallace chipping over the top. A chance out wide, but they don't get to the contest. Beale was there, never really looks like getting to the ball, and Luke Bird was able to make a pretty comfortable catch.
Yeah, it was good work by Corey Norman, some great strength shown. But there's a great run here
Ryan
from Morgan.
He's away and going to Capewell, and the fullback makes a good stop, the last line of defence. But here they go from dummy half. CO puts the foot down now. He had Nathan Smith pushing up with him, and they keep ramping to his left-hand side. Here's Roberts, Paulo back to the middle. Mullaney, he gives it. Sando, he goes for the line. Chris Sando. It is all Parramatta. They are absolutely killing them here tonight. What a performance this is. And the Parramatta faithful are delirious and perhaps beyond belief in the grandstands of Suncorp.
Well, they're playing some terrific football, Parramatta. And it started deep inside their own half. Ryan Morgan, some flimsy defence there from the Broncos. And from this play the ball, they just couldn't regroup. And then they changed the point of attack. They tested the honesty of the Broncos' defence. They hadn't moved across. They just assumed that the ball was going to stay over that side of the field. Joseph Paulo, always a handful when he comes onto the field. Chrissy Sando, he's having a good game tonight.
As they all are. One after the other. They're going at them. And the lead up. And it was pretty impressive, wasn't it, from the far end of the field. And now Luke Burt, beside the uprights, make it 18 points to 6. What a remarkable scoreline this is. Still with 5 minutes to play.
Well, it's worrying for the Broncos is the amount of tackles that they're missing and they're not being effective. We spoke about how important it is to be dominant in the tackle, and at the moment they're not.
Five minutes to the right-hand side of the post. He splits the uprights once again, Bert. 18 points to 6. Yes, that is the scoreline. Team 16 playing Team 4. And it's the last place Parramatta Eels doing a number on the Broncos here so far tonight.
Well, you would swear that it's Parramatta that's coming fourth with the football that they're playing, and the Broncos coming last.
I know the Broncos have plenty of players missing, but there's a level of commitment and desire that is missing in their play at the moment, alarmingly so, for their coach Anthony Griffin, who I'm sure will be reminding them of that fact. And here comes Parramatta again. It's an old-fashioned carver. Chase Blair goes past Capewell. They will chase, but they can't catch them. It's Parramatta by the length of the straight. They are scoring with every touch of the football. They're running the Broncos off their feet. It's a gold medal performance by the blue and gold.
Well, regardless of who the Broncos have in their football team, you don't expect this. And they were just lazy. They were lazy to adjust the numbers down the short side. There was a lack of communication, a lack of desire, and a lack of trust, more importantly, which allowed Chase Blair to race down the field, passing it back on the inside to Kenny Seo. They've lost their way, the Broncos, and they've lost it in defence.
Well, this is nothing short of incredible, what we're seeing here tonight. Seo scores, try-scoring burst at the moment. 6 tries in his last 5 games, and now Luke Burr, his most difficult attempt of the night. And as you can see, it's a pretty simple angle for the left footer to make it 24-6. He adds the extra 2 once again. And at the moment, the Broncos are dive bombing out of the top 4. They had to win to stay in at least 4th position coming here tonight. So they were equal on points difference with the North Queensland Cowboys, who went down to the Bulldogs on Saturday night. And here they are a couple of minutes out from half-time, trailing by 3 converted tries, no less.
Well, they've played some terrific football. I know the Broncos haven't been at their best, but take nothing away from Parramatta.
Here's Matua coming back towards the middle, the ball out the back, and throwing it around. It goes to Brown. It doesn't stop them though. Ben Smith keeps it going. Blair once again ducking under the tackle there of Alex Glenn. They'll wrap him up eventually through Corey Norman. They are playing an exciting brand of football, and Brad Arthur, in game 1 of his coaching career, is saying, I don't mind this coaching caper. How long's this been going on? They bring it back towards the halfway line. Gave them the green light to play whatever style of football they wanted to. They have taken that instruction, that preparedness to throw the ball around. They are making it pay here tonight, and then some. 24-6, 90 seconds remaining, and the Broncos will bring it back out to their own 20. But
well, they look sharp in attack. They look fast. They look as though they know what they're doing. Now they're getting into position quickly. They're adjusting and attacking early in the tackle count. And the Broncos are looking around. Which way are they going? Where are they coming to?
Well, now they haven't found touch off a kick for line. They're coming apart at the seams. That's what they're coming to. And it will give Parramatta a full set of 6 here from inside Brisbane territory. Final 60 seconds of this first half. And Parramatta a chance to score 30 points in the opening 40 minutes of this game. They'll play it here Justin Paul for Smith. Paulo going at them. He can sense blood in the water. There's plenty of it at the moment. They're just outside the 20. 2 plays left in this set of 6. Sando is thinking about a field goal when it's raining tries. They keep it alive. It comes back to the left-hand side. Weaving in traffic. Mulaney going all the way. Mulaney had the ball knocked down. Parramatta pounced on it through Luke Burt. And if it's been knocked out here by the Broncos, it might still be a Parramatta try.
Wow. Coming here tonight, I didn't expect this scoreline at half-time. And Mulaney going for a try, Capewell coming across, knocking it out of his arm. I don't think any Parramatta player knocks it on. I think Luke Burt might get his hand to the ball, and this should be a try. Out there. He's knocked it out, the Broncos fullback. Ryan Morgan is over the ball. Here comes Luke Burt.
Try.
He puts his hand on it. This is a 4-pointer. And I think I'm as stunned as the Broncos.
Well, we've seen some incredible things in the NRL in recent times. The closest of finishes, but this scoreline is just amazing. And there's no doubt, I think, that Capewell gets a piece of the ball, is there?
Well, you don't have to see the way it comes out. And he's playing at the ball. Bang, he hits it there. And then Burt and Morgan play at the ball. It's on the ground. What's he looking at here, Chris Ward? Is he saying after he's knocked it, it's come off the elbow of Mulaney? Surely not.
Well, I think
and if he does that, he knocks it back anyhow, as far as I'm concerned.
If you've needed that many looks, then you have plenty of doubt either way, and I think you would have to say that benefit of the doubt would have to go to Parramatta.
Do you see doubt there?
Well, no, I thought it was reasonably clear-cut. Maybe a little bit of doubt, but not enough to take it off them. We'll see what the referee says. He does say benefit of the doubt. And Parramatta have a chance here through Luke Burt to score 30 points in the opening half of this game. Live on Fox Sports on Monday Night Football against the Brisbane Broncos, who are a shell-shocked unit. 5 rounds out from the finals in 2012.
Well, it's not what you're looking for going into the finals, and not what they're looking for when you're playing for a top 4 position. You know, they would have copped the spray after their performance last weekend. And again, you're expecting anyone that turned up in a Broncos jersey tonight to compete and compete hard on every play. And they haven't done that in the opening 40 minutes.
Toughest kick of the night for Luke Burt, but he's got it on a string. He adds the extra 2. And if you thought last week was an upset when Parramatta beat Melbourne, it had nothing on what you are seeing here tonight. Parramatta lead the Brisbane Broncos 30 points to 6. We need to catch our breath and take all of that in a moment. Ryan Phelan and Greg Alexander to take a look at the many first half highlights right here on Monday Night Football. And no answer. Just unable to stop them. It was almost touch football in the last 3 tries that Parramatta scored. Corey Norman gets us underway for the second half. Oh, and Parramatta make a mistake off the kickoff. Ben Roberts unable to catch the ball. He puts it straight down, and the Broncos will get a chance to put some pressure on Parramatta's defence in the opening set of this second half.
Yeah, it's not the start that Parramatta were looking for, but if you're going to make mistakes, you need to defend your way out of trouble. The hand goes up. I'm sorry, boys. They can't afford to give Brisbane a sniff.
They win the scrum, and it comes to Norman, who throws a long ball, almost an intercept there as Blair came up, weaving in traffic. A chance for Alex Glenn. He's only a couple of metres out from the Parramatta line. Between 150 me to try the other way had Blair come up with it. Here's Maguire running hard, taking some stopping. Only just Tautai over the top. Justin Poor underneath. They had their hands full as Wallace shows it back on the inside to Dodds. Now Norman spinning a full 360, getting away from Ben Smith, who stays with him. Takes him to ground about 9 metres out from Parramatta's line. Goes from McCulloch. Wallace to Thaiday. Dumping down the back. 3 on 2, but a good stop made by Ryan Morgan. Improving defender throughout 2012 for Parramatta after being all at sea early in the season. Here's Hannant. Can't make any headway. He'll play it 5 metres out on the last. A bonus set of 6 to begin this second half. Norman out the back. He gets in Luke Capewell. They need to take a look at this one. There was a suggestion of an obstruction. No, they're happy with it. Tony De La Ceres says, I'm going to blow the whistle. The Broncos into their scoreline, and they need to do plenty of that in this second half. Take a look at this play once again. Well, it was just a nice move. There was no obstruction as it turned out. Chris Sander just made a poor read on the man going back towards the uprights, and Capewell was able to score untouched.
Yeah, good option run by Matt Gillette. Out the back to Luke Capewell. And if you're facing a big half-time deficit, it's a good way to start the second half, scoring with your first set of 6. And for and against is so important if the Broncos do, in fact, go on and lose this game. It'll be crucial in determining positions at the end of the year. You know, their mindset is to try and win this second half and hopefully go on and win the game. But they, in the back of their minds, they have to be thinking, give away no more cheap points. Is this the start of their revival? In that set of 6, when Peter Wallace had the ball, it looked as though he was second-guessing his decisions. I think he's just going to go with whatever thought's in his mind.
To get the ball in the first place, and they haven't. They defend their own line, which no matter what they do when they've got the ball, will matter little unless they can muscle up defensively and a little bit of starch about their work, because they were shot to bits by Parramatta, who scored 3 tries in the final 6 minutes of the first half to blow this game apart. And now Wallace off the Capewell try from just outside the left-hand upright. Took it back a long way, but his strike is a good one. It's 30 points to 12. It's a confidence-building beginning, and they certainly needed that. Mistake by Ben Roberts proves to be a costly one for Parramatta. We've seen some incredible changes of momentum and fortune in games so far in 2012. It'll be something to see the Broncos come back and make a contest of this, but there is a stack of time on their side. Kickoff goes down to the goal line, taken there by Norman. Maguire bringing it back out. He admitted just recently that he still is bothered by his eyesight. Attached retinas, an operation last year. Got him going, but he wears contact lenses for the game, which give him better vision, but something less than 100% vision, that's for sure. So he can see objects reasonably well. We're concerned, doesn't stop him playing pretty good football, though, does it for the most part. Here's Gillette playing at 5 from halfway. Stepping out of a tackle, Alex Glenn going a long way. Parramatta now falling off some tackles. And Brisbane have it with a penalty to come.
Well, they continue to defend like they did in that set of 6. This game is far from over. Some easy movers, Parramatta.
Once they make that break, we need you out of there.
There was not great contact in their efforts. And the Broncos, can they go back to back? The game will come alive then.
This crowd certainly will. It has built up since kickoff. Spectators make their way down from the CBD, which isn't all that far away, as we know, from Suncorp Stadium. And Hannant plays at 10 metres away, looking for their second try in a matter of minutes. Capewell set upon there by Morgan, but he got the ball away. A chance out wide for Beale. He was wrapped up in a good tackle there by Paulo and also Matua. Slow play the ball. McCulloch feeds it deep. Comes back to Wallace. Here's Maguire. Putting the foot down, wrapped up by Nathan Smith and Ben Smith. Plays it quickly, though. McCulloch taking them on, getting to the line, they're in again. The Broncos have scored back-to-back tries in the opening 5 minutes. And Parramatta are shell-shocked, just as the Broncos were in the first half. They've gone the length of the field twice here.
Well, it's game on. It's game on now. And the big worrying concern for Parramatta was they're not being effective enough in the tackle. They're allowing the Broncos up and playing the ball. The defence is not set. And they're just running with more determination now, the Broncos. They're pushing away from defenders. They were hurt in that first 40 minutes. And they would have copped the spray from their coach for their performances. And they were staring down the barrel of a huge defeat. Now, 2 tries in the space of 6 minutes. And they're back.
Wallace from close range to bring them back within 2 converted tries. He does that. 30 points to 18. You can hear those fans who are deathly silent. They were stunned into silence in that first 40 minutes. They're cheering now. The team back within 2 converted tries. 34 minutes or just under remaining in this one. Well, Parramatta, let's hope they haven't put the whip away for Brad Arthur's sake and their fans' sake. Otherwise, despite the scoreline of scoring 30 in the first half, they'll be embarrassed if they cough up a lead the magnitude they had at half-time. 94 points as Hannett brings it back out. Well, there's a big set of 6 coming up here. We're a long way from the finishing post, Laurie. If Parramatta can't muscle up here, the Broncos might do a job on them. Here's McCulloch getting out of dummy half.
He's been good too, Andrew McCulloch, and there's another penalty. Lack of intensity to start the second half from Parramatta. They would have been happy with themselves in the first 40 minutes. And I hope by sitting down at half-time, they weren't patting one another on the back saying, we've done the job on them, we've got this. Because the Broncos certainly wouldn't have been thinking like that in the other shed.
Made no qualms that the man they need is Nathan Hindmarsh. He is back out there now for Parramatta. Ben Smith has come from the field. Hindmarsh's injection is a timely one. He badly need his defence at the moment. Here's Maguire playing it for McCulloch. It is all Brisbane in this second half. 10 metres away. We'll play it here for Norman. Goes to Wallace. Maguire back on the inside as they keep pounding it through the middle. They like their chances through the forwards. McCulloch comes out to Norman. He takes them on, steps, trying to ghost his way through the line. Wrapped up there by Tautai and also Justin Paul. Again, they go from dummy half from close range. But this time they can't sneak their way over. Capewell stopped about a half-metre short.
Yeah, they didn't need that, the Broncos. They needed to give the football to Peter Wallace. Wallace was looking for the ball in the end goal and getting another repeat set of 6. Look at the possession in the second half. Parramatta have had nothing.
Well, this is their first set of 6. The kickoff was knocked on by Ben Roberts, and the Broncos have had the ball ever since. 2 tries, 2 penalties, helping them on their way. Parramatta have taken 9 minutes to get the ball in their hands in this second half. Battle there, battle of the froze, if you like, between Kaide and Moi. And they run towards the left-hand side. And they'll play it here through Ben Roberts. Last tackle. And he goes back to Sander for a settling kick, and he takes it towards the corner. Can't get it out of play. In the end, Capewell watched it go back into the in goal. He's going to play at it to pick it up in the field of play, and then second-guessed himself and put himself under a bit of pressure, but he did well in the end to bring it back. And they take it forward here through Jared Beard.
Yeah, that kick should have found the sideline from Chrissy Sander. They've had no possession. They need to take the sting out of this game. Don't go set or giving the ball back to Parramatta when they've had the majority of possession in the second half.
There's Alex Glenn. They played about 25 out from his own line. They just couldn't get out of their own end in that first half. They've done it the easy way through good carries and then penalties off the back end of their set so far. Hannant playing it here. 10 on his own side of halfway. Wallace from inside the 40. The back three were there in a line waiting for it at their own 20. Parramatta will bring it forward here through Ken Sear. He was one of many try scorers in that first 40. Nathan Smith got them going in the 10th minute. Justin Paul got across the line, so did Sando, Seo, Luke Burt also scored. And here he is, Luke Burt, playing it on his own side of halfway. Moy carries it forward again. It's that forearm up high above the ball and jams into the chest there of Friday. Cully did well there. Wraps up Ben Roberts. Comes back to Luke Burt, doing a bit of ball playing there at first receiver. Hindmarsh keeps the line to Tautai. He'll go to dummy half, Hindmarsh. Gives it to Sando on the last, who chips it over the top. Not a great kick. Capewell picks it up. They'll have him wrapped up 10 out from his own line.
Yeah, I think if he had his time over again, Chrissy Sando, he needed to be doing better on the last play than that. That's just handing possession over cheaply. Been a real shift in attitude with the way that the Broncos are defending to start the second half.
Here's Teo to play it. Oh, he lost it. They're going to say he had some help.
Is that 3 penalties there? 3 penalties in the opening 11 minutes of the second half.
The count now 7-4 in favour of the Broncos. You can see there just the knee of Nathan Smith. He was crowding Teo as he was trying to play the ball loose. As a result, here they come again for try number 3. In the second period, a Seven-a-Seaver is back out there and he'll play it 40 away from the Parramatta line. Drag themselves back within 12. Now Gillette playing it just outside the 30. Ben Hunt is out there, heading to dummy half. Wire taking it forward and running over the top of Nathan Smith. A fast play, the ball has them coming down the middle of the field through Wallace. He runs towards Matua and also Hindmarsh, who says he lost the ball there. Wallace disagrees and so do the referees. Hunt to Norman. Short ball there for Friday. There's numbers there in the tackle. They certainly needed them. Roberts was there and so was Morgan. Last play here for Brisbane. Back Norman rubbering. An awkward one. Wallace coming through trying to rattle Jake Mullaney, who did well to hang on to the ball because he took quite a shot.
Yeah, well done from the young fullback. Big set of 6 here for Parramatta. They need good yardage. The Broncos are really revving up off their line. And the Broncos, when they've got the football, they're running with power and they're running with intent.
Something was missing in loads in the first half. Now a good ball from Rennie Matua. What a game he's having. He was instrumental in building that big lead and helping to do so. Paulo was almost away as a result of his pass. The kick. Long run this time. Lachlan Miranda getting to it. Size things up before he came off the right foot and ran straight towards Hindmarsh and also to Lima Tautai. Take it forward. And it's Teo tackled by the same combination. Tautai downstairs, Hindmarsh over the top, and Hindmarsh makes it a hat-trick of tackles. The opening 3 plays of this set. Involving every one of them. Here's Alex Gwynn. Playing in the centres tonight in this depleted backline that the Broncos have. So many players out of action. Still some weeks away from getting some of them back. Jack Reed and Dale Copley both recovering from fractured legs, and now the kick. High in the air from Corey Norman. Mullaney standing underneath it, goes to the air to make sure they can't tackle him. Drag him back into the field of play. And once he got to the ground, they almost did that. And again, he's done very well under great pressure. Keep it in the field of play for Parramatta. Now Matua. He's a man reborn and he's away again. Friday grabs him from behind, but what a game Rennie Matua has had so far.
Outstanding, Rennie Matua. That's a tough carry and one that was needed for Parramatta.
Here's Luke Bird getting to dummy half and trying to use his footwork to keep the roll going. Stopped there by Alex Glenn. They'll take it down the short side. Roberts gives it to Matt Ryan, who's out there now. He'll play it on the last 35 away from the Broncos line. It goes across to Sando. Up she goes. Some pressure here. The men out wide coming across. Beal somehow made the catch. He had Paulo, was it, flashing in front of his eyes as the ball came down, and he was able to somehow reel it in. And now Teo brings it back to the 40.
Great effort by Jared Beal. Great effort. Petro putting his hand up again.
We're almost back at the halfway line on 3 plays. Here's Wallace going out the back, giving it to Norman. They've combined better in this second half as Maguire takes it inside the 40. Now Hunt. Play number 5 comes out the back to Norman. Gives it there to Gillette, who under pressure dumps it off, and luckily Norman wins the race to the ball with Matt Ryan almost getting there for Parramatta. They've got one more, and Wallace goes to the air again. More pressure here on Mullaney. He's able to make a catch, and an easier one this time, then get away from Maranta, who takes him into touch. Did he? No. The touch judge said he was able to stay in. It could only have been by a millimetre.
Well, the fans here didn't like it. I think it was the correct call out. There's Fury carrying the ball forward. Oh, Ben Hunt trying to meet him head on. He comes back again after reeling out of the tackle. Courageous stuff from Hunt.
Put his body on the line now. Sando from inside the 40. With only Capewell back there on his own. The winger's still up in the line. Had the kick been a friendlier one for Chris Sando, there was a real chance there of a 40-20. They still have the Broncos, though, making the long run back inside their own 20. There's only a couple of players back there onside. And one of them is Jared Beal, who takes it for a gain of about 3 metres.
Well, the game has lifted in intensity, and they realise the importance of the next points in this match. It's so important, the next points.
Here's Wallace. Through Norman, he goes wider still to Alex Glenn. Criticised by the coaching staff for being too lateral last week. A sign of it right there. It's okay to go wide when you're ready for a shift and there's a chance on the edge, but there was nothing doing there for Glenn. They burn a tackle to bring it back to the middle of the field, then the kick from Norman. Picks out Mullaney on the full. And he'll bring it back from his own 10. Bird is back there with him. He runs out towards him. And he's nabbed in a good chase across the paddock. Getting up there was Ben Teo to wrap up the fullback just outside the Parramatta 20.
Yeah, great kick chase there by the Broncos. If Teo doesn't push up with Sam Fido, Mullaney, he's on the counter-attack straight away.
Carry it forward through Ken Seo. And go through Roberts from dummy half. Got away from Hunt's attempted tackle. Fended away, and he goes into the backfield. Moi in support. Roberts saw him and didn't give him a chance. He'd have been something to stop from that sort of range, no matter who was chasing him. Now Matua on the left edge, keeping him alive. Paulo showing it. Runs behind Manor. Gives it to Sando. He gives it to Fui. Fui, they can't stop him this time. He said, why didn't you give it to me the first time around?
Good work there by the big fella. Big Fui. I remember him scoring a try in a grand final a couple of years ago against the Melbourne Storm, where he just shrugged off defender after defender. And here he is pushing up in support. He would have backed himself from there, Big Fui. But Parramatta, they haven't gone into their shell after conceding 2 tries in the second half, keeping the ball alive. Wonderful ball over the top from Paulo onto Sando, and Fui just hitting a hole. Petro doing his best to stop him. Got good skills, Joseph Paulo. A no-look pass there from Chrissy Sando, and they've hit back. They needed to be next to score, Parramatta. They need to take some energy out of this Broncos side.
Well, a new deal. Signed off on it just yet, but it's agreed upon the next couple of years for Fui Moi. At the back of the Roberts run, looked as though he was going to get a great chance to score. He did eventually. As you said, Laurie, It been the Broncos who scored next. Boy, it's going to be hard to stop them from that point on. Still plenty of time, though. 20 minutes plus remaining in this game, despite Parramatta scoring here. Has been having some easy attempts here tonight. Build on his goal-kicking record from close range once again and build the lead at 36-18. Look at them.
I feel happier now.
They've been doing it tough this season in 2012, but they're saying tonight, where has this been? Melbourne last week in a tremendous defensive effort in which the Storm had more than 50 tackles inside the Parramatta 20. And then tonight, they have turned it on with the ball in their hands against a defensive line at times, which has taken on the appearance of Swiss cheese. Roberts went through the line with alarming ease once again in that last set of 6 from his own end. Here's Paulo, they keep it alive again. And now Hindmarsh shrugging away from a tackle. Hunt was able to stay with him and drag him to ground. And Moi it is, the try scorer. Bouncing off the tackle there of Gillette, coming towards Hunt. Seven Asiva has to wrap him up around the legs. And on 3 plays, they've brought it back almost to the halfway line. Some massive meters for Parramatta here tonight. Manor playing it. Nice pass. Roberts Hindmarsh did well to limbo out of the way of it. He almost wore a Steeden for a hearing aid. And now Morgan plays it just outside the 30. Field position off the back. A set of 6 off a kickoff, and now Sando's kick, well, it was a rushed one because the pass, the delivery to him was a poor one, and as a result, he could have put it in the air or done a lot more with it than he eventually did. Yeah, they weren't that impressive in that set of 6. The Brisbane Broncos defending. They've got to find some energy somewhere. They're starting to walk. They're in a bunch. They're in a flat line. There's no shape for them to attack. Just wondering whether how much that took out of them, that 4-pointer to Fui. Came with a rush early, didn't they, with the 2 tries in the opening 5 minutes of this second half. They composed themselves, and now Capewell gives it on to Teo, who's a handful here for Morgan. He's able to wrap him up 5 metres into Parramatta territory. 1 play left. Bill feeds it back for Wallace. With a lot to go their way, despite there being plenty of time still on the clock. The Broncos need things to happen. This kick might help them. Mullaney under pressure, wrapped up there in a good chase. Getting up in his face was Matt Gillette, and they forced a goal line dropout. Well, a good way to find out whether they've got energy is when you kick the football. And who's down there to chase it? They've got numbers down there. They've tackled Mullaney in the in goal, so they get a repeat set of 6. Parramatta, they're not looking to play an up-tempo game at this stage. They're trying to take time off the clock and slow it down, get their breath back, and now defend this set. A low grubbing goal line dropout from the Eels, and it's Jared Beale who brings it back for the Brisbane Broncos to play a 28 away. Parramatta's line. Wallace, 27 Moi leaping into the tackle, was able to take him ball and all as Hindmarsh joined in. And now Maguire, plenty of carries here tonight, 30 tackles and 14 hit-ups as well. It's an impressive effort, isn't it? Now Wallace goes wide through the hands of Capewell, goes across to Teo. Morgan again makes an important tackle 5 metres out from his own line. Capewell from dummy half. Feeds it back for Wallace. Here's Hunt, grubbering off the legs there of Hindmarsh, and as you can hear, the referee said it was played at by the Eels skipper, and the Broncos have it 20 out from their own line. And Peter Wallace has been left on the ground here in the tackle by Nathan Hindmarsh. There's a rebound. Hindmarsh picks up Wallace pretty quickly. Yeah, Wallace, his head hits the ground. Nothing illegal in there from Nathan Hindmarsh. Just as he grabs him, forces him to the ground, you can see his head slamming into the grass. Copped a knock in the first half. Broncos got a penalty, tackled by Joseph Paulo.
They've settled down good now. They've settled down good. So.
Actually, Klein pretty happy with the way the Eels are responding to his refereeing out there.
They've settled there.
She's
good.
You can play the ball, mate, or get someone to play it.
You might have been suggesting that try helped settle them down for a moment. You've done well by scoring, Nathan.
Yeah, it's all right.
Full set of 6 though for the Broncos from close range. Off the 6 again call on the kick. And now Seven Asiva. A long way in the air for a moment there. Maguire comes out the back. Norman. Sando came up quickly and he's forced a mistake. And they're pretty happy about it as well. I'll get more rap from the referee after that. Corey Norman says, where was the mistake, sir? But Sando sensed the danger on the block play and came racing out to hit Norman.
Yeah, and if you come out of the line to make a tackle, as Chris Sando does here on that occasion, you need to wrap them up usually. He bounces out of that tackle, Corey Norman, and unfortunately for Norman, he loses the ball forward. It's not a great side for the Broncos. Peter Wallace leaving the field.
Couple of head knocks in this game. They're going to take him out of it for the time being. He did look very wobbly on his feet when he got back to play the ball. I'd like to say to the man he just walked past, Alan Langer. Stick the 7 on Alfie and see what you've got for the last 15 minutes.
He'd have a go, Alf.
He'd give it a bit, wouldn't he, for a quarter hour?
Knowing him, he'd be wanting the ball in his hand. He's got to do without him.
Just stand up. We need to make it straight here, so I think your arms around. Fully. Arms around. Nice and straight. Petro, your feet stay down or you'll be penalised. Got to wait till it's in. It's out.
Sando off the back of the scrum. Take it forward here through Chase Blair, who tries to one of the Broncos in this second half. The damage was done. Nothing less than a stunning first 40 minutes of football at Suncorp Stadium. Manor plays it. Goes from Roberts. Good time at dummy half here tonight. Paulo down the left side now. Comes back from Roberts again. He's handling things for the moment with Nathan Smith off the field. Brad Arthur making a change, and Roberts applying the service and to play the balls. Puts a kick in here, gets it off the upright. Here's a chance for Parramatta. It comes back to them, knocked on. Ryan Morgan coming through, had a chance but couldn't pick it up.
Well, everything's going Parramatta's way. The kick off the upright. It's amazing how everything clicks. Isn't it? I mean, Parramatta at times throughout this year have given us glimpses of what they're capable of doing. But the Parramatta themselves have been giving away big starts and then trying to run down teams. But tonight it's been the opposite. A fast start, then conceding some points, and trying to take the energy out of the Broncos, which they've done well. They won't go away, the Broncos. They're a proud football team.
Now here's a mistake. Marsh getting a touch on it, knocking the ball forward. Makenberry had visions of tearing off to the line. Ben Hunt trying to offload it. Just the hand there of Hindmarsh knocking it towards the Broncos goal line. Brisbane get another set of 6, 60 metres away from the Eels goal line. Still plenty of time, we know that.
Well, it's always going to be hard for the Broncos to chase points. You know, given they're a disjointed team. They've got Capel at fullback. He's only played 1 game for the club. They've got back rowers playing in the centres. They've got Ben Hunt now playing at halfback. Corey Norman is basically in his first season of regular NRL. Rookie wingers, so it's going to be difficult.
Here's Hannon working it forward. Hunt is a ready-made replacement. Came through the ranks, was the Toyota Cup Player of the Year back in 2008. Playing in the halves, the Broncos Toyota Cup side. He's been a converted hooker in his time in the NRL now. As McCulloch gets out from dummy half, nabbed, good tackle by the markers. Manor it was who grabbed him. Last play here, and it's Hunt who has the last play option. He puts it in the air. Chance out wide, coming through Maranta. Maranta flew and came down with it. And there you go, there's still plenty of time. 14 points the difference. A kick from out wide and a good bomb by Ben Hunt.
Yeah, and a good contest from Moreta. Ball in the air, one-on-one situation, coming down with it. You would think that their pride was hurt and they'll continue to compete, the Broncos. And this would be a remarkable performance given the amount of changes that they've got to their in this lineup if they can go on and win this game. Because you would expect the cohesion not to be there with the amount of changes that are out there now. But who knows? 12 minutes left. They still have a lot to do.
You'd imagine they have to kick them all. Corey Norman now doing the kicking from out wide. Very difficult one. He can't slot it between the uprights. He kicked one from one prior to that attempt right there. Let's take a look at the Broncos run home. 14 the difference here with 11.5 minutes remaining. The Raiders in Canberra next week, followed by the Bulldogs, then Melbourne. And after that, in round 25, it's the Sea Eagles. It's a
tough run.
It is a tough run, and they finish in round 26 with the Panthers right here at Suncorp Stadium. They came into this game equal fourth with the Cowboys on 26. Now equal on differential at plus 82 points. To limit the damage, the Sea Eagles also on 26 points. They are plus 35. Could well come down to for and against as to who gets into the top four. You know, the top four quarantined from being eliminated in week 1 in the new finals format this season. T.O. playing it just outside the Broncos 30. Here is Hannington as they come wide. Now a shift and some space. The pass goes to ground though. Miranda tiptoeing inside the sideline, just stayed inside it, but had the ball gone to hand, there was a huge chance with a massive overlap. Now Hunt kicking over the top. He can do it all at the moment, showing it, coming back to the inside, giving it to Norman. He keeps it alive. Maguire has it. Friday in support. They go wide. They have to score. T.O. comes back on the inside and he's stopped a metre away. Had he passed to his outside, they score in the corner. Friday comes back. Hunt will kick again. Oh, he shaped it. After chipping and chasing and regathering, they bomb a try.
Gotta get up, mate.
And he almost missed the golf ball when it sat on the tee.
Well, it was building nicely. They rolled the dice, the chip over the top, spreading the ball to the right, and then this at the end of the set. So important you kick at the end of the set. It determines how well your set is. You can have poor lead-up plays, but a good kick, and it can be effective. But if you've had 5 good rucks and then your kick's poor, it doesn't matter.
Oh, boy.
Off the hook.
I'd like that over again. T.O. digging for the line. The player unmarked on his outside.
Well, that's what Parramatta have to expect now. The unexpected. They will try and chance their arm, the Broncos. They'll be more adventurous than what they've been.
Here's Manor taking it forward. Unimus Louis is out there. Kind of injured himself here. Kind of hurt a shoulder in the tackle on Manor. Now Paulo coming out to Sando. Links up with Jake Mullaney coming back towards the middle here. Trying to stay alive, get it away from Hunt. Gives it off to Nathan Smith. He's back out there for the Eels. Inside the final 10. Last play. Perhaps a big play coming up right here. Sando off the outside of the boot. Burt was chasing through. Norman takes it out of play. He didn't have much of an option. And Parramatta have got themselves 6 more tackles.
Yeah, it's a good kick there by Parramatta. Luke Burt was the man chasing the ball. Couldn't do much about it, Corey Norman. Parramatta will need to be aware that the Broncos may look to go for the short dropout.
Stay behind, guys.
Try and regain the possession.
Now they're going to go long. We thought needing to score 3 times in the final 7.5 minutes. The short one might have been in the offing there, but they go long and see if they can force a mistake with their defence. Manor bringing it back. Now Justin Paul running towards Maguire and also Hannant. They've got a 28 away from this Broncos line. Here's Rennie Matua. What a game he's had. Look at the fend he puts on Ben Hunt. They take it down inside the 10. It has been a real turning back of the clock by Rennie Matua here tonight. Hindmarsh. He stands in a tackle. Keeps it alive for Ryan, who a bit of a skip and then puts the foot down. They wrap him up 5 metres out. 2 plays left. Smith getting out from dummy half. Finding a gap. Getting across the line. Ashley Klein wants to take a look.
This will be the 5th tackle. Check to see whether he's lost the ball before the line.
He's been impressive in a short space of time, young Nathan Smith, the Parramatta hooker. Filling in for the injured Matt Keating. It's only his 4th game. Gets out of dummy half. He loses the ball before the line, I think. I think it shows just losing it here. Yeah, there it is. He loses control of it there. Thaidays around the legs. Capel comes over the top.
He saw a gap and took the chance, and he almost sealed the win for the Eels. Brisbane will have it from a scrum feed, 10 out from their own line. They need to set these scrums quickly, save every precious second, because they've shown they are more than capable of going the length of the field in a set of 6 and scoring. They have to do it 3 times, but given what we've seen a handful of times so far this year, they're still not done with yet.
No, they aren't, but I would think they've got to score in this set to give themselves a chance, to give themselves the opportunity.
Let's see if they can. Bentio. He'll play it 15 away from the Broncos line. Hannant looking to keep it alive, running back towards the middle. The Eels desperately get up off their line with some speed and stop them working it away from their own end quickly. Here comes the shift out towards the left edge. Hunt showing it. This time Hindmarsh is there. So is Chase Blair. It's a help from Justin Paul. They've used up 3 plays and they're still just only outside their 20. Maguire bumping it forward. He's been enormous tonight. A phenomenal effort. He'll play at 15 on his own side of halfway. A kick from inside the 40. The back 3, though, are taking no chances. Good play by the veteran Luke Bird on one side and the rookie Ken C on the other. They got back there. They were riding shotgun with Jake Mullaney, and it was Bird who brings it back.
Yeah, that's good play by the back 3 from Parramatta. They were protecting the sideline. They were protecting it for the 40-20. And they challenged the Broncos to run. They didn't take that option. They kicked it. They're back there. A good performance, in particular their first 40 minutes, Parramatta.
Here's Manor working it up towards Hannant. Mitchell dogs around the legs. And now Sando to kick from inside the 40, and he hooks it across the field, floating back with it. It'll bounce up here. And the Broncos, they had to score in the last set. They really have to score now as Beale brings it back, and he'll play it 25 out from his own line. Here is Capewell. Through that missed chance. Off the chip and chase, the regather by Ben Hunt. Tio elected not to pass out in that far corner. Now a shift early, and it comes wide. They keep it going through Alex Glenn. It comes away to Miranda, who bounces away from Sando's tackle. Ryan's got him wrapped up just outside the Parramatta 40. A quick play the ball. Maguire does well to reach it and catch it. He runs to Hindmarsh. He'll take the tackle. They've used up 4. Kelly from dummy half comes back towards Hunt. He shapes to kick it, gives it to Miranda. CEO showing him a bit of space, hedging his bets in case there was a kick in behind the line. Last play. This is the game right here. McCulloch, flat ball. Norman, rubbers. Now a chase. Parramatta can take it out of play. And he wraps it up and he beats 2. He beats 3. He beats 4. And brings it back into the field of play. What an effort by the Parramatta fullback.
That's sensational. Great effort from Mullaney. A lot of players would have let the ball roll and take their chance of it going dead. The young fella picked it up, got his team back into the field of play.
Mark straight.
And it's going to be very difficult now for the Broncos. It's all over. They have squandered a fantastic opportunity to confirm their place in the top four.
Dummy half. Nathan Smith links up with Sando, who splits them. He runs towards Beale, who is back there. At fullback, he puts a skip on. Sando! Chris Sando! He goes all the way. And Parramatta has gone all the way tonight. From the opening try to Chrissy Sando scoring perhaps his second. They want to confirm it to make sure he didn't take the line. But it's a fitting way for perhaps this one to end. He came to Beale, beat him with a fend, diving for the line. He got the ball down on the goal line. It's a try, and Parramatta are home tonight, and this will be a famous victory for a team who was done it tough in 2012. But they've got a new coach next year, in the Origin coach Ricky Stewart, and Brad Arthur, the interim coach, opens his account in his very first game with a win.
That's the real strength of Chrissy Sando's, his ability to push up in support. He's got good speed. He found himself in a hole. Lovely pass by Nathan Smith. And this is what you need your halves to do. Push up on every play, and then he backs himself. Pushes away from Beale. Salutes to the crowd. He's been good for them tonight, Sando. Got that smile back. He's happy. Parramatta, consecutive victories.
The first time they've done that since the back end of 2010. And this will be their biggest ever win at Suncorp Stadium. The previous best margin was 16 points. And if Luke Bird can convert this from out wide, he'll make it 20 the difference. An incredible scoreline, even with the players missing tonight for the Broncos. The strike from Luke Bird. Well, it's fitting that he caps it off with a conversion from the sideline to make it 42-22. Might be some party tonight, hey?
Well, they haven't had much to cheer about, Parramatta. They're feeling a lot better now after this performance from them. There's a sense of optimism surrounding Parramatta with the arrival of Ricky Stewart next year, and the displays over the last couple of weeks of this football team. They're capable of doing a lot better than what they've shown us so far.
Here's Matua going down the short side.
And tonight it's been on the back of a good offensive display, and last week it was all about defense for them. So they've got it inside them. They can do it. They just need to combine both aspects of the game. As Sando running the football again, giving it to Ryan.
He's weaving and finding some space in behind them as well. Still going, another fend. He keeps it alive. Chase Blair grubbers. Have they got another one? The kick will beat everybody into touch. And the Broncos won't be in any hurry. In fact, they are. Lachlan Miranda, the rookie, he's as keen as mustard. Despite the 20-point difference, he wants to keep it going. I don't know that anybody else was too keen to see him race back out there to get it going. It's the Tigers watching this, the West Tigers, who will next play Parramatta, and they'll do it on Monday Night Football, a showcase game between two of the Western Sydney teams. And I'll be concerned. Parramatta in this frame of mind, throwing caution to the wind, throwing it around and scoring points. Might be some sort of razzle-dazzle affair next Monday, but tonight, what a Monday it's been in Brisbane. Parramatta have come to Suncorp Stadium and they have slayed the Broncos.
It's all about Parramatta. They were fantastic. They set up their victory in the first half. They went into the break 30 points to 6 in front. Bit of a scare early in the second half when they conceded the opening 2 tries. But their performance tonight with the football was fantastic. They challenged the Broncos physically, and then they moved the ball when they created momentum in the middle. They showed great skills tonight. You've been wondering where this has been all season. Fui was great in the early exchanges. I know the Broncos would be disappointed with their performance tonight, but take nothing away from this Parramatta side. They were great.